program that is being funded by the Rural Health Resiliency Grant through South Cumberland Community Fund. And the goal of Lift Grundy is really twofold. It has the overall goal of improving overall health outcomes in Grundy County. But so one side of it is we've hired these workers. They're called community health workers, and they effectively work as like liaisons for people to help them through their health journey and to help connect them to social services. And they're strategically placed in various parts of the county. So we have a community health worker working at the Birchbook Clinic. We have a community health worker working at the South Cumberland Community Clinic in Tracy City. And then we have a community health worker working with Sethra. And so the community health workers are there because somebody might be going to a doctor's appointment in Birchbook, right? And, they'll get great health care and, they'll, because the doctors at Birchbook are amazing.
Love
and
them.
the doctors at Tracy are amazing. But as we know, health is about a lot more than just a doctor's appointment or a pharmacy visit. It's about the more holistic picture, um, and a big and so that's the main reason the community health workers are there, because if somebody comes to them and they're like, oh, I need help with utilities, then the community health workers are aware of the ways to get them kind of connected to the people they need to be connected to for that. Another side of the grant, though, is our transportation, and so a lot of the grant money is going towards our three transportation partners, which are Sethra, which we're all familiar with Sethra. Sethra does amazing work in the community, and they really do a great job of getting people where they need to go. We have Mosaic, which does recovery and with incarcerated people, and they do a lot of transportation as well. They transport people for employment, for doctor's appointments, and it's amazing. And then a lot of the money is going towards Grace, which is another recovery group in Colmont, Altamont area, and they have a bus. They take people who are dealing with recovery to all sorts of things. Pretty much anything they need to go to, they'll take them. It's really amazing. And then we have our rideshare program, which is what I'm in charge of. And so our rideshare program it's a free. We give people free rides to any like health related thing they need to go to. So if somebody calls needing to and they need to go to the doctor, we'll take them to the doctor. If they need to go to the food bank, we'll take them to the food bank. If they need to go to the grocery store, we'll take them to the grocery store. Court, the bank. There's a whole slew of things. As long as the person is in need of a ride and it relates to their overall health, then we'll take them. And it's and our program, the amazing thing is it's all volunteer run. So we've got people who volunteer their time to give people these rides. So
one of the cool things that Sethra is going to be doing starting in June is the grocery getter. So our grant paid for a new van, and there will be kind of basically fixed route. They're called deviated fixed routes.
Deviated fixed
Yeah, but that go to Kimball and Dunlap and Pigmental.
yes, yeah.
To the Walmarts there.
Oh, wow.
So 3 days a week. That it's a different route and it serves a different part of the county, but people can count on that to be able to go get what they need at those Walmarts.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, and it's a cool van. It says on the side, "Lift Grundy,"
I've seen it.
and then I think our SCCF logo is on it too.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. It'll start soon.
It'll start soon. Yeah, I've seen the signs. I've seen lots of different things talking about it. It's brand new. And what's the process of how do you do it?
How do you get a ride?
Yeah. What's the process?
So if somebody who hasn't gotten a ride with us before needs a ride, they'll call my number and I'll answer, and we'll usually go through we always go through this quick screening process. So just basic information for our side and for our data, and then we do a quick public records search, just make sure that there's nothing going on, and then we will put them in our system. And then at that point, I'll do my best to either pair them up with a volunteer or I'll take on the ride myself. And then so the person who requested the ride, they'll get picked up where they asked to be picked up at whatever time they asked to be picked up at, and they'll be taken to where they need to go. The driver will either wait, or if it's a longer appointment, they'll be like, we'll meet. I'll be here in an hour. I'll be here an hour and a half. So we give our volunteers some flexibility as well, and it's a lot easier to have those kind of coordination moments if it's just one-on-one. Because a lot of times, we give people rides to Chattanooga. Sometimes we give people rides to Winchester. Some of those appointments take a while, and it's so we're flexible with our volunteers, and then we also the riders also have the benefit of not having to go somewhere super early, because that's how it would be on like a bus route.
Yeah, I've
so
heard
that's
that.
I hear that a lot. A lot of people like that about the ride share program, is it's you're very much just boom there, and then immediately going back as soon as you're out of your appointment. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. Then the driver takes them home, and
So you don't share, like Seth or I know that you are with a bunch of folks, and you do different stops. Is this is just a one-on-one or a two-on-one possibly?
Mostly one-on-one, sometimes two-on-one. We allow people to bring like an attendant with them if they need it. And then sometimes, especially with the people who have like used the program a lot, there'll be two people that need to go to the exact same place, and I always ask, of course, beforehand, like, is it okay if this is like a shared ride where it's you and one other person? It's never a problem. I think a lot of people, when you take an Uber or like a taxi, and there's a little bit of this like silence. The rideshare program's not really like that. It's like you're picking up your neighbor, and there's always like a fun conversation to be had, and I know I love doing the rides. I feel like I've met so many cool people who I wouldn't have met otherwise, and just and I know my volunteers, they feel the same way, and it's cool to hear about all those like little connections people make. And then you also get to provide a really high impact service. I mean, getting a ride somewhere is a big barrier for a lot of people, and there's a lot of stress that will be taken off someone's back if they know that they have a ride to that appointment, they have a ride to that court date. So
Were you amazed at the need? Like, were you just aware of such a need? Was there any surprises there?
I think I was aware of it I was aware of the need, but actually being out there and like seeing it is it is a little bit surprising. And I think it helps fuel the like all of our drive to improve the program, though. I mean, it's such a need, and we really believe that everyone deserves to be able to get a ride. We do not want that to be the barrier. There's enough barriers. A lot of people are needing help with housing, and there's like there's education barriers, and there's all sorts of barriers, and we are really just trying to knock transportation out. We're just
take transportation off the table.
It's off the table. Yeah, that's the goal.
The no-show rate at the free clinics was pretty high.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
And you think, okay, well, you get a free doctor's appointment, you should make it. Now there are lots of reasons that people might miss a medical appointment. One reason is they just might not want to hear what the doctor has to say to them. Right?
I feel that. Yeah, sure.
But then when the clinics that we partner with ask, well, why'd you miss your appointment? It was very often transportation. So like we can't take off the table somebody's fear of what the doctor's going to tell them, but we can take off the table getting there. So
okay. All right, let's look on the other side of it. Volunteers, do they use their own vehicles? How does that work?
So our volunteers, I'll just go through the whole volunteer process.
Okay.
Our volunteers will sign up for a training, and we'll do our training, and during the training we go over like the process. We go over reimbursement. We do reimburse mileage at the federal rate of 72.5 cents a mile. And then we also offer this, it's like a supplementary insurance that we require volunteers to have the Tennessee minimum for automobile insurance, but we do have some additional coverage that would come in if anything were to happen to help cover deductibles and things such as that. So our volunteers go through the training and learn those very important details, and then we have emergency procedures, of course. We have inclement weather procedures.
They learn to make sure their car runs okay.
They learn how to drive in our training. Yeah. But no, our training lasts about 2 hours. And after that, after their background checks completed and we have all the documentation that we need, our volunteers will I've been reaching out to them like at the beginning of the month, for like next 2 weeks of availability, because our volunteers are very much, they get to drive on their own time. It's another benefit of volunteering with us. But I'll get a ride request. It might be, I need a ride Wednesday at 2 p.m., and I check to see where my volunteer schedules are, and I see Tom is free Wednesday at 2 p.m. I'll give him a call and see if he's interested in picking up the ride. And then we have this app and this dispatch software that we use to it's called Tripmaster. It's great. It's the same one Sethra uses, so it really helps when we are kind of communicating with each other. But I would give Tom the information for the ride. He would go pick up the person and then drop him off, and it would be in our system, so we would know like exactly how many miles he drove. I usually check in with my volunteers after a ride, especially after like their first few rides, and be like, "Oh, how'd it go?" But yeah, it's super simple. I mean, it's basically just a call from me. Are you available? Yes. And then you pick somebody up, you take them, and you drop them off.
It's just that simple.
It's that simple. I mean, it's like picking up your neighbor.
And then you get it reimbursed at the end.
And then you get it reimbursed.
And then you get reimbursed.
Yeah, you get it reimbursed.
Okay, what about can people do? There's a lot of community service requirements, like with people, kids on grants, other reasons why they have community service. Can they use community service in this way?
Do you mean can they get community service hours for doing this? Oh,
For sure.
It seemed like an easy
absolutely
way to get that knocked off instead of picking up trash.
Yeah. For sure. Okay. If anyone is in need of that, like, give us a call. We have the ride share, but we also, all sorts of volunteer things popping up over at our office, which is the Littell Pardon Center. There's always, and we're plugged into a lot of events and stuff. So if anyone is in need of community service hours for anything, reach out to us.
Okay. Safety. We were talking that before we went on the show. It's, we think nothing of heading to Nashville and hopping into a strange car. I mean, it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're here locally, you're working with lots of different populations here locally. It is your neighbor, and no one's going to have a clean record here. I mean, when you're doing background checks, what do you do with that?
Well, as I said, one of the main places we'd give people rides to is court. Yeah, and so we understand that the people we're giving rides to are not always going to have a super clean record, but we definitely believe in second chances, and a big issue that a lot of times prevents people from really being able to get that second chance is being able to get a ride. Being able to get a ride to a probation appointment. We and our volunteers understand that. And we honestly take a lot of pride in not really closing the door to people just because they might have a few things that happened in the past. We do really prioritize our volunteers' safety, of course, but nothing. We've given rides to, I believe, it's been maybe around like 18 to 20 like unique individuals, and never has there been a problem.
Nice.
Yeah, and most people don't have like a completely clean record, you know, and it's
It's a rare thing.
It's a rare thing. It's a rare thing, and you know,
Especially young people. I've found that, thank goodness for college, because it's like a place where you have training wheels, because you make the most stupidest decisions between 18 and 22, just stupid. Sure. And if kids don't go to college, you're making stupid decisions 18 to 22 that affect your entire life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so and transportation's one of them. You lose your license, right? You lose. There's so many things that you can lose that they take away from you for making bad decisions.
Yeah, and it's a spiral. You know, it causes, as soon as you take transportation out of the picture, especially in a place where like as rural as we are, you know, and
we have to be car dependent.
We have to be car dependent.
Everything's so far apart.
You have to be.
Until we get the mountain goat trail, just kind of go everywhere. Because I can go from Swanee into Tracy on my little bicycle.
Yeah.
I think that'd be super cool.
Almost every day.
Do you? I bet you do. I told Paul to get a bike. I said, right there, it's the commute area. All right, what do we need to know? You've got a transportation summit coming up. What do we need to know about that?
Yeah, we're having 2 community conversations in June. I believe it's the second Tuesday of June.
It's June 9th.
June 9th.
And June 16th.
He's got his little cheat sheet on his hand.
June 9th and June 16th. Yeah, so we're our first one is at the Colmont Community Center from 5 to 6:30. And then the second one is
provided.
Food provided. And then the second one is at the Altamont Community Center, also from 5 to 6:30. We are also providing transportation to it, of course. Yeah. You know, it would be a little bit embarrassing of us to have a transportation summit and not offer a transportation. So Sethra is partnering with us on that. And so registration closes a week before the event. If you want to get a ride with Sethra,
okay.
Which even if you don't need a ride or someone to go to the event, might be a cool opportunity to take the Sethra bus. You know,
yeah,
might as well.
Even you can come. You don't have. Well, let me start all over here. A week before the event would be really great for the food purposes too. So we know how much food to order, but you definitely have to register a week before to get the ride.
And who should go to this?
Everybody.
Yeah, the whole goal of the community conversation is we want to hear what the community wants to see out of out of our transportation. Yeah. You know, we are in this unique position where we are partnered up with these great programs that do transportation, and even outside of our official partners, you know, we are in conversation with groups like Folks at Home, and Driver Dave is another one. He's one of our volunteers, and he's an independent driver on the mountain. You know,
Captain Dave.
Not Captain Dave.
Not riding with Captain.
Not riding with Captain.
But Captain Dave's great as well, and I also know Captain Dave. You know, and so we want to just make sure we're in this unique position where we're in this coalition, or we're beginning to be in this coalition with all these different transportation groups, and we want to make sure that as we're getting all these transportation changes started, that we really know what the community wants to see out of it. So we're inviting anyone in the community, specifically people who would use transportation, but you know, all opinions are welcome and encouraged. And also people who are already giving rides. You know, we want to make sure that people from Sethra are there, people from Grace are there. So
our volunteers,
yeah. So get to meet everybody.
Yeah.
And there's in all ages is what you're telling me. Normally, like Sethra, I think about our elders getting to doctor's appointments, but you're talking about all kinds of rides.
Yeah.
We've given rides to people ranging from like early 20s to almost 90.
Wow.
It's a huge age range.
I'd say the 2 outcomes are, we want as many people as possible to know about what we're doing, and then we want to know what's missing. What else should we be doing that would be really important and impactful?
Yeah, to plug it in, because we were, once again, before the show, we always have our pre-show, about the different components of the puzzle that y'all have been working on, South Carolina Community Fund has been working on. a hot minute. How many years have you guys? 12?
14.
Has it been 14? Wow.
Yeah.
And you've just carved away, just notched away all these priorities of capacity building and health and education and so many wonderful things. This is a tough nut.
And increasingly music. So
I know.
with the support from the Caverns and the McConnell Music Fund, we've done more and more with music.
Well, and I heard that was a great fundraiser with Nicholas Ma and his whole American Revival. Did you get into that as well?
Yes, yeah, I was there. It was amazing. It's
I heard
beautiful.
so many great things.
Ethan spends a lot of time at the Caverns.
Do you?
Yeah, it's my second job. I'm out there as well, so.
It's a perfect second job.
Yeah, it really. You wouldn't think it's a perfect second job for how different it is from the weekday job, but it really is. They pair well together, and
Yeah, you were mentioned at that show.
Rumor has it.
That's true,
Rumor
yes.
has it.
Nicholas Ma.
It's because communication is super important in our community, and making sure that all of our information is out there to help each other.
Yeah.
We're very blessed
Yep.
to have those resources. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nicholas was so cute.
Yeah, he was.
But I heard the music was sublime. I just heard that it was just unbelievable.
it's amazing.
There's so many different styles, and it's
Yeah.
great. But then on the preceding Thursday was the South Cumberland Shindig with all the kids.
That's right.
The kids performing, and that was awesome too.
The Jam Kids.
The Jam
and,
Kids and all that. Yeah,
Well, music's our heritage.
exactly.
Wow. What other components? Let's see. Health is another one.
Health, education, economic development.
Okay.
So, and within those, so like, we've really been focusing on transportation the last 3 or 4 years, and we're kind of building up to getting this grant. You know, we had a transportation summit before we applied for the grant to hear what people had to say about what was needed on the plateau, and you know I started in 2021 at the Community Fund, and in 2022 we had a strategic plan, and we said we need better transportation. You know,
Yeah, I
people
remember.
have been telling us this for years, and so we've been kind of thinking about that we thought about that for 3 years, and we paid people to study things, and we did our own research and that sort of thing, and so we were ready. The Grundy County Health Council, on a kind of a parallel track, did the same thing, and they established transportation as a priority, which really was the reason we were able to get this grant.
No kidding.
Because those health councils in each county, they are supposed to establish a health improvement plan, a county health improvement plan, and they put transportation in it. And so everything was kind of aligned for us to get this nice grant from the state,
Very nice
so that
grant.
we can provide these services.
And you said there's a lot more money coming down the pike in the health department in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's money that comes from, I guess it's federal money from the Medicare people, and it's related to the Big Beautiful Bill and all that. And so Tennessee has $1 billion to spend over the next 5 years.
I hate that.
Related to, and they've created the rural. Let's see, I did know in our pre-show. I knew that Rural Health Transformation Fund.
Yeah, that's right.
And so all the rural counties in Tennessee, which is a whole bunch of counties, are eligible to apply for these grants that are coming out. They have a new grant announced every Friday for the next, I think, 8 weeks. And the one that they announced last Friday has to do with, let's see, Healthy Active Rural Tennessee. So it's for a kind of, getting people to move kind of project.
I like that.
So we've got some pretty good ideas about what to apply for. I mean, it could be something like, we could build off. We got a Healthy Built Environment grant 2 years ago, where we did studies and all that. We went to all the towns and said, what do you in this town? What do you need for, to promote health in this town? Like in Altamont, we didn't go to Altamont because we were on the Mountain Goat Corridor, but say in Palmer, what do you need? And so we learn, and we what people thought, and we have a book on that, a health equity report.
Health equity. Okay.
And so that can be the basis for, like, we already know, like in Palmer or Colmont or Tracy, what are the kinds of things that people want to build. And so we have there's not enough money to do all of them. I wish there were.
Yeah, I
know. So we have to figure out the best, the optimal project to apply for, but we'll figure it out.
Okay. Was there any surprises in any of this? Any aha moments when you're looking at the transportation puzzle and you go, wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't think that was an issue.
I don't think there were. I'll let Ethan answer that question. I don't know that there were aha moments. There were, like, for me, so South Carolina Community Fund got this grant, and it's a reimbursable grant. That's the way government grants are. Mm-hmm. So you think, oh, $2 million, that's cool. Well, you don't get that $2 million. you have to spend some money, right? You spend the money, and then you ask them to, you say, pretty please give us that money back.
And make sure you have all your paperwork
Yeah,
right.
and you have to, your paperwork has to be right.
And on deadline.
And you know, you can't, you had to do it the way you said you were going to do it. You can't break any rules here, right?
No rules.
And so that's kind of anxiety making, to think, man, this is a big liability here. So
it's
that's
huge.
it was not a surprise, but it is something you really have to think about. And every step along the way, there are those things that you have to think about. Like, every dollar you spend, you have to think, well, is that an allowable expense? Yeah. Because if you spend the money and then you can't get it back, then you're, like, it was especially, we bought a $50,000 van.
Okay.
For Sethra. So that's $50,000 we've laid out there.
Laid out already. It's laid out.
And so, you know, we had to make really sure, and we have great people helping us do that. Elise Cruz is our program manager, and she's managed a big grant before. Mm-hmm. And Catherine Hoffelt Provost is our grant accountant, and so she's retired now, but worked for Vanderbilt in that kind of role.
Okay.
So we have really good people making sure we don't make a big mistake.
Yeah, because when you write that grant, you don't know the things that are going to pop up on theory.
Yes.
So you better write it the right way, or it's not going to get reimbursed.
It's not going to get reimbursed, and so thankfully so far, all of our invoices have been reimbursed.
Exciting.
And the cool thing about that is that means there's all that money that's come into the county, right? That is helping people, is coming in to do stuff. It's like, you know, I was seeing a basketball players being interviewed about they had set a record for assists, and they said, thankfully, my teammates made a lot of great shots after I got them the ball, right? And so that's the way this grant is. Like, you know, we're getting people like Ethan to make some great shots here, to help people to score points.
It is points. You've got to hit your marks in order for future funding.
Yeah,
per se. So you've got to be a good steward of those funds and saying, oh, $2 million, I can throw some money around on that one. But you want its success, and so here we are, ready to go. We're needing volunteers, and we're needing people who need to be taken somewhere.
Yeah.
Transportation.
Good sum up.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm quick like that. But those are the two areas.
Yeah. For a rideshare program at least, and it's a very simple process, but it does take a lot of courage to ask for help sometimes, and we understand that, and to ask for a ride, but we also, having a car is such a privilege, and there's so much anxiety that can come with, oh, I have this appointment coming up, and I don't know if I can make it, and our goal is to alleviate that. It's like, I know how I can get a ride. I'm calling Seth, or I'm calling Lyft Grundy, and that's a big end goal for us.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So that's just bottom line, putting people together and making this happen.
Making this happen, yeah.
And that will hit your marks.
getting people where they need to go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. How can we help again? What can we do?
Volunteer. Always looking for more volunteers. As a Lyft Grundy driver, you get to make a very high impact and through a very simple act, just taking somebody somewhere. We reimburse mileage at the federal rate, as I said earlier. It's a very fun thing to do as well. Once again, you just get to meet so many cool people. You get to meet people you may have never gotten to meet otherwise. And it really can, like a single ride really can change somebody's life, or at least make a huge change in their life. I mean, there's all sorts of things that can come up.
Like, so the community fund's vision statement is that the plateau is a place of hope and prosperity for all. And I love what Ethan says about that sometimes, that if you're a volunteer driver, you actually embody hope, because you are making a connection between someone who might be in a hopeless place. Like if you
oh yeah,
if
you're in the darkest days, but
that's right. Or if your car is broken down on the interstate, right? Yeah, that's kind of a lonely, hopeless place. But
so our volunteers are. It's almost like it's such a fulfilling role to be able to play by acting as that bridge for somebody. You're the physical bridge to that gap for them, for that ride. And but it's just a ride. It's super simple as well. And so I really encourage people to even try it out. I mean, we don't we ask for people's schedules ahead of time. I do ask my volunteers quite a bit if they're able to do rides, but you can always say no. And I think a big end goal of this is to just have a bunch of volunteers, and that way, people need a ride. It's just a lot of people are available to come pick up their neighbor. It's
everybody rides.
Everyone rides. Yeah, it's a huge community effort. And we really think that we truly believe that that's how a community should be. The community should be reaching out a helping hand and giving their neighbor a ride. Simple as that.
Well, we have well over 100 churches here in Grundy County, and they all, for the most part, have some degree of active ministries, and it seems like this would be a great partnership.
It would be, yeah.
Because they don't always have the resources that they need to help their flock, and so this seems like a great segue into here's how we can help. Is to get involved.
Yeah, and
we do have a list of kind of the largest churches and faith leaders, and we met with some of them and failed to meet with some of them, but it
happens.
But we have their contact.
Yeah, well, it just makes sense
because we thought that made a lot of sense to us too. Because
right.
That's a great way. Now the interesting thing is some of those faith communities are already doing
their thing.
And I think we'd love to support what they're already doing.
Okay.
As well as bring in others.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of a synergy of purpose.
Yeah.
With the current. All right. So how long? Let's say I find out I've got a cancellation at my foot doctor in Tullahoma, and it's tomorrow. Is that too late to give you a call?
So we really accept ride requests at any time, but we do encourage giving us 48 hours.
48 hours.
Which is
that's fair.
Same as Sethra. However, we've had people call the day before, had people call the night before, had people call the day of. But and we've been able to fulfill that. We definitely are not asking for that to be like the norm. But also sometimes something comes up and it's like, oh crap, I really need to ride in an hour from now, actually. And we've been able to pull it off before. And so that's like another really cool thing about the program. It's not there are a lot of rules, and we have a lot of things and structure in place to help make sure things are moving efficiently. But we're also such like a community and volunteer oriented group that it's like yeah, if you want to try and shoot to get a ride in the next 20 minutes, you can. So
Worth a shot.
yeah, we're friendly. We want to help. In any way we can, and we will try our best.
Oh, I love it. All right, what number? I think I wrote it down, and I know it's on your hand, Tom. What number are they calling?
To come to the
Rides.
summit,
Yep.
931-315-1100.
Is that the same number for a ride as well, or is there a different
No,
one?
so there's a different number for the
All right, so
ride.
this is the summit number. All right, and the first one is June the 9th at Colmont Community Center, 5 to 6:30. Who are you getting food from?
We're getting
What kind of
food
food are we
from
getting?
It's Hank's, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting
Hank's.
All
from Hank's.
right. And then on the 16th at the Altamont Community Center, where are we getting our food from there?
Same thing.
Hank's,
Same
yeah.
thing? Nice. All right.
Hank's going to get a lot of business.
Hank's.
Mhm.
All right. What's that phone number?
So the phone number for the ride share is 423
423
671
671
2333.
3333.
And then you already gave the Sethra number, right?
931-315-1100.
Yes, correct.
Is that Sethra as well?
Yes. So that's what they'll be calling for the
Oh,
rides.
yes,
But
yes,
if
yes.
you need Sethra as well, that's the number for them.
Okay. Anywhere in Grundy County, or is it? Are you on the plateau? Where's?
So we pick up people that are in Grundy County or primarily in the South Cumberland Plateau area.
Okay.
We know some people might live like in Marion, but they're still in Monteagle,
Yeah.
or they're in Franklin and they're in Swanee. So that's not like we don't not give people
Like, we're
rides
not
because of
going to
that.
Monteagle, or we're
We
not
we
going
have a
to-
little bit of like a loose radius outside of the county that
Sure.
that we'll give rides to, but it's primarily that South Cumberland Plateau region.
I think Sethra cannot originate rides in Franklin
Oh, okay.
for their part.
Because they have their own.
Yeah, because that's another
South Central, maybe.
South Central.
Yeah. Okay.
But we don't. Lift Grundy doesn't have those
Does
same
not
rules.
have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because there's Midway.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
so many other
Yeah.
different places.
Yep.
And we give rides. We primarily do local,
Okay.
like somewhere Grundy to Grundy.
Uh-huh.
But we will also do a lot of rides that are, just off the mountains, and we do a lot of rides to Manchester, Winchester, Jasper, Kimball. Occasionally we'll do longer distance rides, just Chattanooga or Murfreesboro. But those are a little bit harder for us to pull off. But once again, that's one of the big benefits of being partnered with Sethra.
I was about to say Sethra does those.
Sethra
long
does those
routes.
every day. Yeah.
Murfreesboro, I think they go tons of places,
Yeah.
don't they?
So a lot of times Sethra will give us they might be really booked and need a lot of people need to go to to the city, but also having a lot of people that need to go somewhere in Grundy. So they can send some of their Grundy riders that need to go somewhere in Grundy our way, and then our rideshare program can help alleviate some of that, and then get more people on the bus to get to Chattanooga or somewhere else.
Oh,
Yeah,
how fun is that?
it's great. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
juggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's just multiple. It's multiple transportation groups just communicating with each other is all it is.
So
Yeah.
what prepared you for this job?
I did a little bit of work in college with mutual aid and ride share, just giving people rides every now and then, and did a little bit of that organization part of that. And then I also did a summer with AmeriCorps, and in Grundy County, which I really think helped familiarize.
So you've
me
done the
with
summer
area.
meal program.
I did help with that. I was mainly helping with the summer literacy program, the Color Our
yes.
World, I believe it was last year's, but which was a really great time as well. A really fun project, and yeah, I just I grew up in Tullahoma. I've been near Grundy County my whole life. Worked at the caverns, and just really fallen in love with the area and really loved the people of the area, and I definitely have a heart for service work, and then also seeing it I want to see Grundy County, the people of Grundy County, flourish. I want to help get them there, and so it's definitely a lot of passion in it. I think for me as well as the community health workers, our whole grant team, we're really excited about what we're doing, and we're really we're really passionate about it and want to help this community in any way we can, help uplift the community. Hence the name, lift. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny, or it's not funny. We're so used to being poor that we're not used to success. Does that make any sense? So the efforts of South Cumberland Community Fund and the capacity building, we moved from third poorest to, I think, 16 poorest in the state. Just
really,
yeah, just from according to ChatGPT. I'm just
okay.
going to preface
right.
that
okay.
by saying with all the indicators. That's amazing to me to think of all the capacity building that has been put into Grundy through South Cumberland and all the efforts. And now you're lifting up at a better place, right? You're at Grundy's at a better place now to reap the rewards from this program. So everything matters.
Everything does matter.
And transportation,
everybody matters,
and everyone matters, and transportation is a through line in all of it.
That and housing, baby.
That and housing. Yep.
Yeah.
Poor Julie is gonna fix that until it's gonna fix that. But it all comes together. It's all a part of that. Well, what have we missed here? Can we come back and do this again?
Yeah,
for sure. Happy
let's
to.
do it again.
What have we missed today? What have I not asked y'all that needed to be asked?
I know I mentioned that we have a very wide range of people who the rideshare program serves. And I kind of just maybe want to revisit that a little bit and say it's really, as long as you are having a transportation problem, we can help. Even if you have a car, and your car might break down and you might not have any family nearby or any way of getting a ride, that's something we could, if it's a one-time ride somewhere, that's something we can do. It's we want to make sure that no one feels left out of this, because it really is a community effort, and
the social connection is one of the social determinants of health, right?
Yeah.
And
really? Okay.
So if you are isolated, I think that's the reason that a lot of programs like this focus on the elderly, because elderly people can be isolated. But there are other reasons that you can be socially isolated.
Really?
And that's a good reason that if you have a friendly person like Ethan show up at your door and take you somewhere,
I would love Ethan to come to my door and take me for a ride. Driving Miss Iva. When I get older, I want something like that.
Right, Miss Iva.
Yeah, and that is a huge part of it, is that social connection. Yeah, it's and I think a lot of times, I know that it was something I was aware of, but I've become a lot more passionate about, is a lot of the people we give rides to are older, and a lot of them are living alone, might have family far away or family that's gone. And it's such an important thing for us as a community to bring those people kind of back in. It's oh, you might not have any family around, but you've got people here, you're part of the plateau, we've got your back, and I think that's such a cool thing, that kind of a side effect that our program does. And even Sether, I mean, you go on the Sether bus, the drivers they have a rapport with the people they give rides to. It's honestly such a cool thing. And so we think it gives people it's a unique side effect of all of it.
Yeah, those drivers, the Sether drivers, are really frontline people, that have great relationships with people.
It's kind of like the way Southwest Airlines used to be. They had the best airline folks. They were just fun and happy, and they're not anymore, so I'm not going to compare them. But it's just it makes it a joy to fly.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same thing with driving.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for the people we give rides to, but I would say that it seems like it's an enjoyable thing. It seems like people enjoy it.
Yeah.
People love getting a ride with Lift Grundy, and with me or with any of our volunteers,
We'll have to have a song with that one. There's got to be a song playing at some of this, a little theme song for Lift Grundy.
On the community health worker side, we've lost. Well, one of our community health workers was promoted. One of the community health workers had to leave her job. So the South Cumberland Community Clinic in Tracy is just about to start interviewing people for their community health worker.
Okay.
And then Tina Arbuckle, I don't know if you know her. She has not started yet, but will start soon as the coordinator of the community health workers. So
Nice.
so it's kind of an interesting situation where there are 3 community health workers. None of them work for the community Lift Grundy directly,
No.
right?
Okay.
So, but we're trying to make sure that there is a kind of a common experience and sort of common standard of service that you provide and all that kind of stuff. And when they are working in different settings, right?
Okay.
And reporting to, so we don't write anybody's paycheck. Although we send money to the partner to write the paycheck.
To write the check, right?
But they're the boss, and they're not. They don't work for us, right? So the coordinator is a really important position to make sure that everything is seamless. And we're looking forward to Tina.
That'd be great.
Starting that job, and to having the new community health worker in Tracy City. Those community health workers also get training, so they have the first cohort of them, the first 3 of them, got training through a program out of Vanderbilt, which has ended. But we found Elise has found a new training protocol. As soon as the new person at Tracy City is in place, they'll all get trained.
The same way.
So the same way, yeah.
Oh, how fun is that?
And then you mentioned Paul a little while ago, but I don't know if people know who Paul is. She mentioned Paul.
Not yet.
Paul McKee is joining the community fund, South Carolina Community Fund, on June 1st.
Is it June 1st?
Yeah. He's a great guy. He works for Southeast Tennessee Development District. He writes a lot of grants for people in the plateau, the town. I think he's probably worked with all the mayors in Grundy County, and we stumbled across him, and he applied for my job. So
Tom's retiring.
I'll keep my job until July 1, and then I don't know, maybe I'll start doing something. Who knows? We'll see.
You could be a volunteer driver.
I can be a volunteer. Yeah, I'll be a volunteer in my little mini truck.
In your little mini truck.
Anyway,
That'd be super cute.
so we're excited about Paul joining us too.
Paul's a big deal. We've worked with Paul for the tourism partnership for an ARC grant, and really got to know him because that's a lot of work putting all that together. And we're like, we wanted him as an executive. We'll get him. He's amazing.
Okay, you wanted him. Okay, I'll tell you what. He helped us with a grant back in January. We didn't get the grant, but we're not going to hold that against him.
We won't hold that because he's normally super good.
So we had worked on sending in the letter of intent, and then they said, yes, we'd like your letter of intent, so you can apply for a grant now. And so, like, the next week, he calls me and he says, hey, I'm passing through. I'm passing through, going to Nashville. You want to meet at Hardee's and get a biscuit and a coffee? And I said, yeah, sure, let's do that. So we met, and we had the best conversation. And I thought, man, that guy thinks like I do. Mm-hmm. And so I said, hey, Paul, I'm going to be retiring in about 6 months.
We're all eyeballing this.
Why don't you apply for my job? And he said, maybe I will. And so he did.
And he's got Montego connections. So there's something.
He does have Montego connections. Yep. He grew up internationally, but his parents, they were missionaries or something like that. Mm-hmm. They worked in other countries, and so they sent him to their parents, to his grandparents, every summer. He spent all his summers out on Laurel Lake Drive on a farm out there.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
Who was his grandparents? I forgot to ask him that.
I don't think I know.
We'll find out when I get him on the show.
Yeah.
When he gets this intro.
Yeah.
And Ethan's already done it.
Yeah.
Well, there's just so much.
Yeah.
Spring grants, did you already mention those, didn't you? Or
this Saturday is the Spring Grant celebration. It'll be at noon at St. Mark, St. Paul in Sewanee. We're making $103,000 in grant awards
Nice.
for the spring grant. We have we have three competitive grant rounds a year. So the spring grant, and then there's a collaborative grant in the summer, which there's going to be news about that. We're going to do that one a little different this year.
Okay.
But it will, because it's collaborative, it's also going to involve training and collaboration.
Ooh.
And so the first thing we're going to be doing is announcing, hey, do you want to come for training and collaboration? And people who get that training will be the people that comprise the people that apply for the grants.
Oh.
So we haven't quite decided if that whole group will just apply for one grant, or if we'll let them bring in others so that there's more of a competition. We'll figure that out. So,
Yeah.
and then the fall is the partnership that we have with the university.
That's right.
So that's the. But then we have a non-competitive that is when you need money, you apply for it, and it's called a capacity building grant, and it's basically to make an organization stronger.
Nice.
or to build out an asset that you need to be more effective in your work. So we ourselves just got a very nice gift that will quadruple the amount of money we have to give out this year for those capacity building grants. So we have some ideas of organizations that we can approach, to do some of those new grants. We want to really do that right. Like we want the results to be really important. Like what changes because this has happened has to be really clear, because we think we can get more money from the same donor if we do it right. But if we do it wrong, we won't.
You won't. It's all about results, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then you have to set up those expectations, and like you're saying, what's our end goal? And once you meet your end goal, whatever that is,
Yeah.
then they like that.
Yeah.
And you can get more.
That's right.
That's amazing. I know that with the collaborative grants, it was very interesting how you worked that in the past about making us work together in order to get. And that was such a novel idea with us. We don't like working with each other. In the past, we were silos, and you made us through the funds.
Well, yeah.
Partner with other folks.
I mean, the fact is that in any community, not just this community. I mean, somebody told me I was meeting with somebody last year, and she said, the Plateau is kind of a poster child for everything that's happening in America now. And that's so true. Like if you look at the kind of the obstacles that we have here, the things that are in the way of us all thriving, having hope and prosperity, right? They're the same things that are happening in other places, many other places in the country, right? And so in none of those places can communities make meaningful positive change unless they work together. And so that's the reason that we've been focusing on collaboration and getting people to work together, because these things are systemic. And if you just have your own, if everybody's just thinking about what's in it for them instead of like what's in it for everybody, then you can't make progress.
Well, we've made progress, and so we are very thankful for you making us work together, and it's been amazing. It is a true story. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Uh-huh.
And through the incentives, because we are that way, we've seen the success of it. So we're very appreciative. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And we always want to thank the community for collaborating with us, and collaborating with one another. It's such a group effort. All of this is,
And to spin it back to Lift Grundy, this is a collaborative, right? Because we have 5 partners on this,
That's
and
amazing.
so we're all of those It's like a hand.
Mm.
It's like a hand with writing on it. So all those partners are
Yoda.
So wax on. Wax on.
But all the partnerships.
They're all working together, you know,
Right.
to make sure that people can get to the doctor and have a healthier life.
So let's cut down those barriers.
LIFT, by the way, stands for Let's Improve Futures Together. We've always wanted to focus not just on getting people rides, but on social mobility.
Okay.
Yeah, getting people's lives better. You know.
So say that again.
Let's improve futures together.
Oh, that is precious. Let's.
Your friend, your
improve.
buddy Dan Miller came up with that.
Did Dan?
We had a big,
Improve.
we had a this kind of big meeting where we were all like,
What are we naming
what are
it?
we going to call this thing? Because the grant was called the South Cumberland Health Mobility Network, and we were thinking, well, like nobody will know what that is.
No.
And so we got to have a snappier title than that. I mean, there was like, weren't you there? Maybe you were there too.
Sometimes I'm amazed at the
so
things I do.
There were like 15 or 20 people in a room over there at the old high school at the Littell Parton Center, and we're kind of like struggling with what to call it,
Sure.
and we talk about, well, it needs to be blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden Dan pipes up and he says, "What about Lift Grundy? Let's improve futures together." And we went, "That's it."
That's it.
Yep, we knew.
Our time is done here.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, it's perfect.
Yeah,
Now that I know the meaning of it.
Yeah, I mean it's it hits in the collaboration. It's we want to uplift the community. Lyft is also a rideshare service, so
yeah.
it's all clicks together.
It takes all right. What have we missed? I know we've probably gone longer than 20 minutes, but what have we missed, kids? What time is it, Tom?
It's 10 till 9.
I'd say I guess the big things to just reiterate are sign up for our summit, our community conversation that's coming up. Once again, we can provide rides,
Free meal,
free meal.
June 9th, June 16th.
Yep. Registration closes a week before each event. And yeah, bring everybody, bring the whole family.
Come on.
Come on out. And then we're always looking for volunteers as well.
Yep.
So if you follow us on Facebook, we post updates there. We have our website there. Anything you might need to know would be on that website. You can reach out to the number we said earlier. If you have any questions.
Can you register on Facebook?
You can't. I don't. Oh, for the summit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
the registration link is. I believe there's a post that has a link to the registration as well as like a QR code. So I'm about to scroll down a little bit, but we're probably gonna post again about
Put it up at the top.
Put it up
Pin
again.
it
Yeah.
to the top.
Oh yeah, big time.
All right. Well, hey, it's worth all the information here. We'll go all the way until 9 o'clock. All right. Well, I'm going to send Ethan and Tom to spread joy and sunshine wherever they go. And we're going to take a quick break, thank our sponsors.